Welcome to Changfied YouTube channel, your trusted source for latest updates across South Sudan and beyond. Today, we dive deep into one of the most shocking political stories in South Sudan, the sudden rise and dramatic fall of a man once seen as South Sudan's next big leader. His name is Dr. Benjamin Bulman, a businessman, a political powerhouse, and once the man many believe could become President Salva Kiir's successor. But just as fast as he rose, his power collapsed overnight. What really happened? What did President Kiir suddenly remove him from power? And what secret story lies behind the fall of these once celebrated figures? Stay tuned because this is the full human and shocking story of Dr. Benjamin Bulman from here to outcast. Before we proceed, please save the channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Let's listen from this report. Dr. Benjamin Bulman didn't start as a politician. He began as a businessman, a young, ambitious man who built one of the biggest construction companies in South Sudan. His company, ABMC Construction, became famous for handling major government projects, roads, buildings, and bridges. Bulman's business grew fast because of his close connection to the government. His company was involved in what was called the Oil for Road program, a deal where South Sudan used its crude oil to pay for road construction instead of cash. It was a bold idea, but also a controversial one. Many believe it helped build infrastructure, while others accuse it for corruption and unfair contract. But whether people like it or not, Dr. Bulman became a powerful name in both business and politics. He was seen as loyal to President Salva Kiir, and that loyalty opened many doors for him. He wasn't just a businessman anymore. He was now an advisor, a financier, and one of the most trusted men in Juba. In South Sudan, money and politics are deeply connected. Whoever controls the money controls the power. And for some time, Dr. Benjamin Bulman controlled both. By early 2025, Bulman's rise had shocked the entire nation. In February, President Salva Kiir appointed him as vice president for the economic cluster, replacing the long-serving James Waniga. Just 3 months later, he became the first deputy chairman of the SPLM, the ruling party, under Salva Kiir. That made him the second most powerful man in South Sudan's politics. And if that was not enough, in September, President Salva Kiir promoted him to full general in the National Security Service. Everything seemed perfect. Analysts, journalists, and even foreign diplomats started calling him the Crown Prince, the man being prepared to take over after Kiir, in case something happened to Kiir. For the first time in many years, South Sudan appeared to have a clear successor, but power brings enemies. Many of the old SPLM leaders, the men who fought in the liberation struggle, started feeling uneasy. They saw Bulman as an outsider, someone who didn't fight in the bush but had suddenly climbed above them. Still, because he had Kiir's full trust, no one dared to challenge him directly, at least not yet. By the middle of 2025, a small crack began to show. There were growing questions about how the Oil for Road project were being managed. some of the road remain unfinished. Report of missing funds start to circulate quietly among ministries. Western countries, especially the United States, reminded Kir, the president of South Sudan, that Bulman was still under U.S. sanction for alleged corruption and money laundering. For most people, those sanctions would have ended their career, but for Dr. Bulman, they didn't. In fact, they once made him look untouchable, like a man too powerful to be stopped. But international pressure was now rising again. And inside the SPLM, powerful figures were whispering into the President Salva Kiir Mayardit's ear, saying Dr. Benjamin Bulman was getting too big, too fast. His name started to cause tension at the very top of the government. Some party veterans said openly that Bulman had no revolutionary route and was unfit to lead the party. Still, the President Salva Kiir Mayardit stood by him until something very personal happened, something that would completely change the game. Many South Sudanese were shocked when, on November 12, 2025, President Salva Kiir Mayardit suddenly removed Dr. Benjamin Bulman from his position. No one saw it coming. He was only fired as vice president. He was also stripped of his SPLM position and demoted from general to private in the National Security Service. His security guards were withdrawn the same night. For a man who used to be surrounded by power and respect, that was the clear sign his empire had fallen. But what really caused this sudden fall? Officially, it was said to be corruption that caused all this. Failed project and loss of trust. But behind the scene, there was another story. A private scandal that shook the president family itself. According to reliable insider close to J1, the downfall of Dr. Benjamin Bulman started with a recorded phone call, a call between him and one of his close friends. That friend later betrayed him. In that call, Bulman was joking and saying things about our dude Salva Kiir. The president doubted that were deeply disrespectful. He allegedly said he had only used her connection to rise in politics. He didn't know that his friend was secretly recording the conversation. And worse, that recording was later played to Adut herself. When she heard it, she broke down into tears and could not eat or speak for hours. She took the recording to her mother, Madame Mira Ayen Mayardit, and together they played it to President Salva Kiir Mayardit. As usual, President reacted calmly. He simply said, "It was your choice." But the matter did not end there. Elders from both the Awanshan and Akodlwal Arech family became involved. They promised Adut they would deal with Bulman quietly through political means. That is when the real power struggle began inside the presidential circle. Someone stated. Inside J1, there is a small but powerful group known as the G20, a collection of about 20 key figures who influence decisions and presidential decrees. Dr. Bulman was part of this group. So were people loyal to president's family, including Adut uncle, Gorgori Vasila, and her mother's allies. The G20 became divided into two groups. One side supported Bulman, the other wanted him out. For a month, they fought quietly, removing each other's loyalists from position of power. Whenever Bulman group made a decree, the other camp would revoke it. The government became a silent battlefield, a war of signatures and secret meetings. Eventually, the group led by Gorgori and Ayan realized the only way to stop Bulman was to convince President Salva Kiir Mayardit himself to act. They argue that keeping a man with a disrespectful attitude and international sanction near the presidency would damage the family and the country image. For a long time, President Salva Kiir Mayardit refused, but after a month of lobbying and the growing international pressure, President Salva Kiir Mayardit finally signed the decree. That was the end of Bulman's political career, the night of November 12, 2025. Within an hour of his removal, Bulman's office were sealed, and his close allies were dismissed or reassigned. His phone went silent. The man who used to sit at the top of South Sudan power structure had now become an ordinary citizen. In Juba, the news spread fast. People whispered about his fall. Some celebrated, others felt sorry for him. Supporters say that he was betrayed for political reasons. Critics say his arrogance and poor handling of government funds led to his own downfall. Whatever the truth is, Bulman's fall created new wave inside the SPLM. The old guard who once felt sidelined began to regain influence, and the younger generation of politicians learned a powerful lesson that in South Sudan politics, no one is ever safe, no matter how close to the president you are. Bulman's story is more than just the fall of one man. It reflects the nature of power in South Sudan, fragile, unpredictable, and deeply personal. Politics here isn't just about election or policies. It is about loyalty, family ties, and who stand closest to the president. When the loyalty breaks, even for a moment, everything can change overnight. Some analysts now said Bulman's removal has reopened all rivalries inside the SPLM. Who will succeed President Salva Kiir Mayardit? That is a question right now. Is it someone from the liberation generation, or will the new business elites still have a chance? No one knows for sure. But one thing is clear. Bulman's fall has reminded everyone that power in South Sudan is not permanent. It moves like shifting sand. At the heart of it all, Dr. Benjamin Bulman's story teaches several lessons. First, power without humility is dangerous. Second, loyalty in politics is never guaranteed. And third, no matter how high you rise, your downfall can come from the people close to you. Today, Bulman lived quietly away from the public spotlight. Some say he's planning a comeback. Others believe his political life is over. But one thing is sure. His story will remain a key chapter in South Sudan's story. In the end, from a businessman to a vice president, and from a trusted ally to an outcast, Dr. Benjamin Bulman's rise and fall show the fragile reality of power in South Sudan. A reminder that in South Sudan, even the mightiest can fall in an instant. This has been Changfied, bring you truth, depth, and perspective. If you found this story informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Changfied for more political insight, breaking news, and real stories from South Sudan and the region. Right now, katin kon lat ko din gwasame. Biaka malka Changfied YouTube channel bana roindin kon lat ko din bana kaling. Roindi tika roindi go liang kane diala kon di link roindi. Mi jira mi jidit gwasame gore no jin. Be subscribe ko Changfied YouTube channel. Comment mi ci brech ba sho mala shu bekeje. Bana mandana ci tuok bana jeling. Gwade woike Dr. Benjamin Bulman. Duoba dana woike je kajen lerme ba kono linkel kondial. Dr. Benjamin Bulman jena kwer no geken go jen charge demen watch. Man yama biangach jen a business person. Take a yotung one. Dr. Benjamin Bulman kana je tuoga lo politician and obo bela politician kibe siasa bejalat jen tuoga je alo aramimo mula businessman koko no wak jena wa ngwet mete ko dong dara lan di dara jalat rewi ka South Sudan amen me chaja kam longa kirm yadit chaja ko jen bala ramadana dong te kwak dial te kede yo kirm yadi de kwanya no jen be chare be kalat yo aja kam company michal ke ABMC construction me FMS ke ngake jelong wala de major government project lede chare lede dul ke lede kubrine rewi ka South Sudan ti dial kon lat ke lede ke Bulman ramla business ko jen gwa dana pidatin ramadan tiken long ekir me yadit so kujamo cha business de cha jaga jagwa akume morai ke kir me yadit ajen menen yene wo kwa wo kana gwa jaga jene dial no teke kwa kerianga but this opportunity kam ka jeje akir me yadit Bulmel shermeji calling chi politician chi ran siyasa ke jen ramla business person but ko jen chero tiek ke kuma kirm yadit chayu ngat ko jen te ke kwatungwan tilhade chayu gije no jen de je trust alla oil company te pinde billion of dollars in kono kwa moving and out take jen and wood shall come ikirm yadi and wood shall come Bulmel ko jen ramimo mi cha ngada kir ti diala jen let kamo ala crudo yo la ya koga be crudo yo be kan jen be char be kulat ke jemane so wa instead dong da lani chare ke je right la ya ko ne je crude oil mi anonga kanalel den ba char ba lat ke je ba la ya kanani yo den che chare chaglat so no mo sho we no jena wa che tang wa ne che kalat ba da wa che corruption men yam che lan yam na dole gorgo no de lat char gwa dan de lat kan wuri shal kame Dr. Benjamin Bulman kan kala da gwa Dr. Benjamin Bulman jene business person she politician but ta we ka je ka politician a wache way up ano bo wonial wache je ko yoka je Bulman shaje chunga da kir ko jen ti president Salva Kiir yadi de gujino jen rami mo mngada la kama kwak bako realeka and then che ko jen be kwer be jele be je me chi garo kene Kiir mi yadi chen me je kona ngach okay me chi Kiir mi yadi de gujino wo Bulman we gwa yo Bulman poinde to aje kwan first move to kwan ala by president ke economic cluster tin economic tapinda jen a comedy de long she komatot so on koma mo shwa kam Bulman me sha kame sho gwawru me shalke waniga jimis waniga shoje wood equatoria mi kidi tin kurundang wel raw ala vice president niga me woke dakring ma charke 2013 chwa waniga chwa la dum yukwama mo jen position dan titin dudo sho Bulman cho position mo chuje jek chwa kame a Kiir mi yadit without any complaint waniga cho jen cho kompo cho epel ana na me cho ni wan chu ga gaje lon ko ne kenyam bi pora kan Bulman kan kwan charwan to wan chagalat ke Bulman no Bulman tama ga jen o jaram dan be president be gar cho Bulman ka pairo cho kwan ala by president ka court pen dang dio korodian within 3 months cho Bulman cho anyo mo kwa jab great cho kwanya la first deputy chairman of the SPLM Ramadan and guri Kiir mi yadi ko Kiir mi yadi ko la chairman so mun yonen wo mite ka michi to ka Kiir mi yadi den wanamo e Bulman do gwadamo la president name it was a chance for Bulman ko be kwerbe jetas ke be jek yo Bulman cho la jarama bumni jare wi ka South Sudan kelio ka politic ka business ka everything din kon latke yo Bulman cho la mo cho jelat ka cho aje lo da longa na ideal al yakaje na ideal longa tin kontin tin chagu je no leda Bulman cho la powerful me shi ku Kiir mi yadi de gujino na me shi enough ke kam by president ke kam jenyo kam first deputy chairman ka SPLM yo gujino be Bulman be nyo mo ko je promote yo Bulman cho promote cho nan ka general National Security Service full general ramisha kam full general jen a kwer medit rami mo cha kam full general tela ram do dien mit kwiji mi keje na mo chu gwalung ke Bulman and when mo me cha gwich cha Bulman kam position dial did to cha chole crown prince termi jaramdana ba jaka kwer mite mi to ka kir jaramdana dia kwer kwana we kamandan and dekpin man jag Bulman ko ba jajoj right now chengne men take a power mishik mo dien mo we self ke ma yadi de we with the we jager abe crown prince ba je lo wo ka position dana cha kame a gen pointer chi do no be kwer be jek so chana je gwado ko me dan Bulman kwa ngeje no jaramdana bi gwa self ke ma yadi bajelele bajakan so let chana melenga manan to gwasme me kwa nge Bulman ke nyam charge no go just spelling special all as spelling leader ne ko ni dit te chi struggle ko wa Bulman kind struggle Bulman a businessman he know nothing about a liberation struggle ne ti ga kan ne lokane but chang me chi chai to lead na kirim yadit shu kana pal ko chi kirim yadit che wudu me che jela trust longan Bulman ko young man yugo jeno Bulman be mugo abajalat that was the case the core me briek ba talk until ci Bulman wa take information me leak out joma chala da netin konti la ja ashan me chala da no cha Bulman me ci Bulman ci fan ci ga cham million of dollar ka jen oil sector kana project netin kona latke kan kir kana dieten telere ba take me ci to manyam Bulman jen charge sanction kume international community chikana sanction la western countries chitkaji United States no chikan Bulman chikana sanction no cha yu chaka kwan cha yu chaka kwal so we mean that charge la ngada more no wa chi family dunkir mi yadi chika right karodian Bulman be maidan be yar ke which South Sudan ka be yar ke international community no ba control no ko koni ti shuer ke de cha we charge yar jin Bulman me de let go so kir mi yadi chwe lok no more me talk but after that me talk gene wa secretly wa che take jom chala wa Dr. Benjamin Bulman dio je take ne la kana dol ka ke no ne la kana dol ka je wa chire mi kane ti lalo yal ka je but wa kan gul ka ko la kan gulana dio go jeno den eche adut kirim yadi che la jor then from there eche take information share record then cha wo nyot adut self kim yadi che go nyo nan che no ngwan ci gwan ko ling wajen mo dor we triggered menen yena me ka chang waro ka jan pai welkel chwa ka tiang de shu kir ma yadit shuar ga chuje tan before that ne run wang long chwa gor je no bani de konen tekel ko shal ga me bol me ba kan dial ba caption ban men kuna la ge jene men binam bi ko la jaga ja tok en sedo de ja pal power kill kona ka me cha we ka vice president cha je de lo we ki deputy chairman ka spell him right da ka nyok cha de lo wo national security ka cha de lo ke general abay lo nang na private we mean that ci Bulman ci mi jeglung ci chep mi jage ko baje demote for good ke baje wot jena dan to so ka chang wero ko payolkel ci Bulman ci aje demote ci aje wot re kumaka nyuri jantama gwadan chaji yenten ka jawdan chalat awa wo take message mi chalat ke telephone ke phone call ko wa ke nyinga kwa ke record gwadan rajetin ko kam adut ko kam gwan chu gwan adut wache jo kam madam Mary ayen te dial ro ko ti chaw lat wa wena mo chwa gujeno ba Dr. Benjamin Bulman ba je di let go ko chela ro jen use ni adut ko be kwerbe je jek ramo cha kwanye lo chi tiang no jen be kwerbe je kan doro do to rar ko gwam tot ajen dana chi tok Bulman tama ja ka ti jen ka jo ran chala ke cha di 10 wadar shal me je wante mi chala G20 no mo wa kaneti chop ke jandangro ti diene te kelte la te ke influence la kan kir akene ko la decision kim yadi la kan kalat mugur no ramo baje joj la kan nyur wa ka kor pada me kele ke pedro ti gare dol to wan family dunkir me yadi ta wa adute kan kol mi shal ke gorgori vasila no kene to mark man bani somewhere there na dut wa kene dole shi anka do budana dong de bol me leje wokija ballo kira lok kene ti wate ke influence mu dit ka kim yadit so right now ken kor wa michi Dr. Benjamin Bulman michi degree che la charan che kwan ba je lug ne de koken you know michi kim yadi charan che kwan ba nyo lug ne de ti so chi friction mo ji tin ke ga mo kam din so cha yu guje kim yadi no ka do dan sha convince cha jugo no woje en garame gorjen wojen be jenak wi kwam ko chere mi ku let ken ku cha bul mil cha wo tiang ajen do dan jen bul mil ke je rami mo mi fa full ka bele jen bele wona ka zero level che wi ne no wan che ka gaylong so jo me jenana gode nyaal kon ken me lar ke jenane jeng cengti ga par mi ti de gorno jin bi ngaje no la be jen ka jen power mo kir mi yadit unpredictable unpredictable ko jen cheng chi trust long mo da bo cheng ti ga tar mi chi kami ka chi ole je der je we ke jinyo gate ma